It's so
Popgun, spell shenanigans.
I don't have to. We just saw it on stream a little bit while ago.
Coalition
If you want me to spell things to the audience, this is going to be a very sideways stream very quickly. Because you know darn well, I grew up in Kentucky, and you know darn well they did not teach us how to read or write down there.
No, that explains Pico de Gallo from earlier.
So here we go. The Coalition moves on. You know, the combination of avocados and koala bears has got them back into losers finals where they were last month, as you know, Brush. They're taking on Daybreak, which is made up of our boss here at IPL, Grace, which I believe due to nepotism laws, Grace is not allowed to play in on stream for IPL for a tournament for an organization that she is the leader of. Sure. So, but everybody else on Daybreak has been rocking and rolling. 2-0 up on Wet Up, and then got reverse swept, and that's why they're now on loser's side. But the Coalition, who is 10-0, 10 straight wins without a loss. Yeah, that's what 2 times. Actually, yeah,
it's 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.
What?
Is it?
No,
8?
they won
It's
5.
10?
Yeah,
I
2 times
can't
5
read
is
a bracket.
10.
Yeah, here we go. Someone read this bracket
Yes.
for me because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
2, 4, 6,
10
8,
straight wins.
10. Okay, 10. Yeah.
So
That's what I
10
said.
straight wins for the Coalition versus 3 straight losses for Daybreak. If you want to have a talk about momentum, it can't get any more lopsided than that going into a losers finals in low ink. And we will we'll see if Daybreak can bounce back here in game 1, or if the Coalition train keeps moving along. Splat zones at Hagglefish. The chainsaw coming back out for the Coalition, and the heavy pencil combo is still here.
Why would you call it that? It's called a sticker stamper, Popgun.
Sticker stamper, yes.
The Explo out from Dynaman. So, again, bread and butter for Coalition. We've seen this month after month from them. And what a great job watching that right side. Neon, nothing coming through, but they're forgetting about the left a little bit. But, I mean, what a strange Daybreak, sending both of their flankers out, both of them forced to retreat, though, and the zone is going to go to Coalition early. Finding the utility out of those flanks now. It's Gillies with that Carbon, not going to quite find it yet. And a 4v3 with some specials online for the Coalition. They're going to hold on here and maybe get
So Daybreak's strategy for this is going to be the Snipe Rider, as we're saying the full names of these things now. The Snipe Rider and the Vanilla Heavy. Going to have to control the zone, work their way to control the mid. And you saw the Gal and the Carbon do the both flanks by themselves and just kind of hope they work out on the left or right side. Neither one of them did. The Gal got eliminated. The Carbon said, the heck with this. I'm jumping back to one of my 2 anchor players that we have. So if they're going to do those flanks, they're going to have to find ways to get the Heavy and the Pencil in combination to help support them somehow, because them just going by themselves is not going to work against the Coalition.
Once again, pushing into mid is the Coalition, but they're down a player. Splats in favor of Daybreak, so not quite finding the utility they need. Now going down is SK, traded off the Sploosh-O-Matic for that Tri-Slosher, so retreating now is the Coalition. Just a fight to get into mid, no specials to their name. See if the Explo Dynaman is going to be able to make up for that.
Yeah, and Gillies, once again, just going in by themselves the same exact way, too. If I'm the Coalition, I'm just saying, hey, anytime they get the zone, just start shooting to the left. There's going to be a Carbon right there. This time, Gillies going in with the right, now working in conjunction with the Gal to try to make something along this left side, while there's Charger and there's Splatling trying to do some damage on the mid. By the way, the Coalition with the X-Splosh trying to hold down things, trying to push back both the Pencil and the Heavy to create some room for the rest of their players to start pushing up.
Dynaman spamming this splashdown like it's ink armor from Splatoon 2. I mean, just always having paint below their feet, using the special up in zone. That's how they're going to keep this counter ticking in their favor halfway through this game now. 34 ticks remaining, but a zone flip once again. So doing a good job not getting too staggered here. Backing up is the Coalition. Finally, Daybreak looks to have some semblance of a lockout.
Now, Brush, if you are a flanking team and your flanks are not working, what do you do? What is the
Flank
adjustment
more.
you make?
Flank more.
Yeah, exactly. You don't make an adjustment. You just keep flanking over and over and over again because eventually one of them is going to work, and then that's going to be all she wrote at that
It's just
point.
so hard, Papa, because you see the counter keep ticking. You see it keep ticking, and you don't want to
Yeah.
do it.
But this is what your team is built to do on this map. You see Gillies yet again, once again getting shut down. It's almost like the Stamper player right here was expecting it and doing a good job getting a trade out back there. But this is still a winnable situation for Daybreak. This is just a back and forth tug and war that's currently in Coalition's favor. But again, one of those flanks is going to land at some point. That might have been it right there. Gilly's going along the left side, or I guess.
But look how
top
Gilly's
side.
backed up and rotated back around. I think that's the adjustment. Maybe is look at Gilly's not overextending on those flanks, being able to respect the space and move back. But that might not be true for a lockout as Coalition finds a full four splats and takes the zone once again.
Tri-Slosher, go! I'm gonna fight the whole world right here. I got soda in me, so fair enough. You get right back into the action. But now 1 minute left to go. The Coalition got rid of all their penalty points. Just trying to weather the storm of a lot of specials being thrown out here by Daybreak that won't get them control the zone. It is getting them a bunch of splats. There goes the splashdown yet again. I've been convinced it's been used up to this point as just an ink refill so that Dynaman can just keep,
Lobbing shots.
lobbing those loogies across the map and into the zone right here. But this is your situation right now. Neon putting down the wall for that their flanking sibling can join back in and help them. This might be the one push call Daybreak's been looking for this whole time.
Just under 40 ticks to the lead, but a zone flip once again. The Coalition finding two in the process. Now Poland trying to get some fall-off shots. They're not going to quite find it. 30 ticks in the penalty for them with 13 seconds remaining. We're not going to see a KO by the Coalition if they can keep holding on here. 3 down in their favor. A dogfight in mid, chomping down on those Choco sticks, and they are going to find the game. That's another one for the Coalition, keeping the momentum alive.
And Megu putting the controller down, and rightfully so. Why exert more energy when the game's already over? Take the dub. 11 straight wins for the team that has spent the entire day in losers bracket as the train moves on for the Coalition. Look, Daybreak's obviously been very successful in this tournament. At worst, they're going to get third place in a 90-team low ink. My question is, what is your this Snipe Rider Heavy comp, which, are you aware why Heavy has made like a huge presence in the scene as of late, Brush?
I do, but for the audience, explain in detail.
So Keo put out a tweet like I think a week or 2 weeks ago about like a solo queue game he played where a Heavy on his team put down 4K paint points, whatever that is. Yeah. So
No.
it's got everyone in this mindset. Oh my gosh, this weapon paints like insanely well. And put the replay code. You watch the replay code, the Heavy Splatling doesn't move at all. It stays in one spot and just trades paint back and forth against the other team. And the other team has like a junior, an H3, and another Heavy.
And they can't
like there's
paint the
no
Heavy?
weapon to like dislodge the Heavy. So it just stays there and paints the zone over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the other team has a high painting comp, so they're just like giving them more room to paint with. Now, that doesn't mean Heavy is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just, in this comp, I would like to see the Heavy be more aggressive, which you can't. You can pull out. I'm not saying like frontline with the thing, but in on that map specifically, maybe it's a little bit more difficult. It's not like you can just flank with it, and there's certain alleyways you can go. But I would like to see the Heavy start to push up a little bit more, kind of play it similarly, not like exactly like a Nautilus, but a little bit more of a let me get right behind my teammates and start putting some crossfire rather than just, well, here's just another anchor spot for somebody to jump to. Like the Sniper Rider's got that down.
Tower ship shape can be so difficult for a backline on a push, though. You're constantly underneath where your opponents are, unless your front lines can sort of take the aggressive position on the stage and dislodge those typical anchor spots, which become super important defensive hotspots. So for a backline, for a Heavy on this one, it's gonna be a push and pull if you want them basically up against that tower supporting the team in that way.
Well, this is a great counter pick for Daybreak,
For sure.
for the comp they want to use. The Coalition, able to get a win without using Dynamo, using the X-Splosh in that last one. I think that was just kind of a map-specific thing. Are they going to be using Dynamo here? No, I think that's the Flingza at first glance. Is that what?
I think
No,
that's
that's the Dynamo.
Yeah.
No, it's the Dynamo. It's the soda variant. I don't know why I was expecting missiles, but there is missiles on Daybreak's side. They do have the Frozen Pro, another get off the special kind of get off the tower kind of special.
I feel like there's less aggression from Daybreak here. Only the Carbon is going to be able to open opportunities on the front line. So sort of trading in for a little bit of extra range, but keeping in that comp. As the Gal goes bye-bye.
And you know, on a map like this, where this is the closest thing to Rainmaker you could do if your tournament doesn't include Rainmaker is tower control ship shape. It's because there's 2 checkpoints and they fall like nothing else.
Right.
So like the more defensive style comp the Daybreak is using right here, you know, maybe not suited to this style of map, but maybe the style of play that they want to use with this exact comp. I'm assuming this is the counter pick they've been using throughout the day and it's been successful for them. But right now the Coalition seems to have some control of mid, and there's there's just nowhere for Gillies to go other than just that wall to try to make something happen. Shut down yet again expertly by the Coalition.
Coalition now looking at something of a more traditional push. Dynamo on that tower with the maybe a trade coming out, or Crab as well in the area. So just sort of getting your front lines up, taking space, putting paint down, forcing all of Daybreak onto that top right. You see them realizing, oh no, another checkpoint up ahead. We got to rotate left. So all the way back in their spawn is Daybreak. The Coalition specials after specials, finding 2 there on the front lines with that splashdown. A nice start of a push here for the Koalas.
This is fantastic for Coalition. Yes, in 2 seconds, Daybreak could take the lead right back. I understand that. But the way Daybreak's comp is built, the best scenario for them is to get a huge lead and turtle up and bleed time off the clock that way. This comp isn't really built as a high-octane offense to try to come back from a hole like this and then start the turtle up. So now they're going to have to start, like I was saying, find ways to get aggression. If your heavy's going to be on the tower, find ways to get that pencil start pushing up so that they can take more of this long alleyway here on the left. And Neon's got to start finding ways to create some spaces as well, and then staying back here. If there's nowhere for them to go, how's the tower going to go anywhere as well?
Yeah, when you've got 2 stuck on the tower and it's your pro and your heavy, that means that a pencil being down leaves you with 1 player. Now, Gillies, that last one, the Carbon down as well. You'll see immediately the Coalition pushing up, finding another. Now, Poland looking at the last player there on the left, where they're going to rotate over. Just 1 now ahead of the tower. Dynaman doing a great job putting paint down, having support for that team with that juice now. 3v3 as they're once again pushing forward, but, maybe a little too aggressive. They're going to have to stall here for their respawn.
There's still a lot for the Coalition to get out of a push like this. 2 minutes left is an eternity on this map. If you could get a 2 checkpoint lead, actually you don't even have a checkpoint lead anymore. So if you can knock out that second checkpoint, that'd be huge for the rest of this game. But Daybreak doing a good job of at least not surrendering their side of the map just yet. Missile's going to start pushing some players back, but Soda's going to be in the veins of the Coalition. They're going to have plenty to work with here to start slowing down a Daybreak push that's going to have to go without stopping at a checkpoint. Actually, if they get to that second checkpoint, they automatically get lead.
True, but first they have to get on the tower. Oshama now, a new rider for their team. It's the Pencil. They're going to drop some juice ahead, but I think that's on the tower path, so juice no more. Gillies, I don't think got it. That's their Slayer with the Carbon, not able to have the advantages of the rest of their team. They're just going to try to poke, but they don't have the range to do anything. Neon, though, doing a great job opening it up for Max Mix on the heavy, but the tower rider goes down. It's SK's flank. The aggression as we tick over to 1 minute left of play. Daybreak, though, still seems to have some semblance of a push moving.
I thought it was over when those players got splatted, but enough players still left alive to make it allow for them to jump right back into the action. Lead for Daybreak. They are going to clear that checkpoint as well. They might even get the KO right here because more players go down. The Blaster doing a good job up top of getting enough splats right here. But now, finally, with 30 seconds left to go, the value that the comp has, that Daybreak has here, is going to be put on display. You are built to turtle up and hold on to leads in this situation. And really, you're nowhere near close to getting missiles, though. That's going to be a problem. I guess it's not if you can just get some splats right here. Nice double by the heavy.
Koalition needs to find some splats of their own if they want to have any chance of an overtime move here. Dynaman not quite finding utility yet. Now on the left side, a nice pick for Daybreak means their first shooter goes down, and another pick right before game ends. So what a way to stay in the action, stay moving for Daybreak, and not allow sort of not allow that point score to get to them. It was one push. It's always one push. That's all you need to win in tower. And they found it there sort of in the nick of time.
Patience by both teams being put on display right there. Daybreak waiting for the right opportunity and realizing that one push that they had at the end right there. Okay, two players go down and nobody's near the tower. Okay, let's just back up. Let everybody jump right into us. Let's not give up on this push. And maybe Koalition be a little bit overextending that instead of just trying to like take control of their space, trying to get mid a little bit more earlier than what they should have. But still, here's the story now. The Coalition's win streak, they haven't lost in over 2.5 hours. That's their first L. Daybreak had lost 4 in a row. They get the taste of victory back into their mouth with the first counter. The Coalition hasn't made a counter pick since the start of the day. I wonder if they even remember what maps they like to go with here.
Probably not where we're headed, it being just where we were, and a loss for them. They've obviously gotten the splat zones thing down today, but they can't go back there either. That leaves, if we're being wise here, I think Clam Blitz on the table for them. So then it's just about finding a stage.
Well, let's see. They can't pick splat zones because that's what they've.
Oh no, Bob.
Well, so you can't win the most. You can't pick the most recent one that you've had here. Oh no! Oh, I see now.
That's what it was. Yeah. It's a low-end classic, Popkin. We can't go a day without seeing it.
Okay, so you're thinking your Dynamo. And you're thinking, okay, maybe the walls we could take advantage of here. Maybe we got some right spots on this, but I don't know. I mean,
no,
I don't.
Here's what you're thinking, Popgun. You're thinking we scrimmed this and we did really well on this map because we must be good at this map mode. What they're not thinking is, oh, they must also be good at this map mode. Like this is one of those bread and butter Splatoon modes. And
so Tower Control Art Academy is hilariously overpicked in some of the higher levels. I mean, it's not. If you think it's the best situation for you, so be it. I mean, people would pick this against Starburst, and then Starburst would counterpick it right back against them. And It's like, what do you think is good at the advantage here? But in low ink, everybody's comps are so different that, it can work out. I just don't like going up against the more defensive build that Daybreak has on a map that has more checkpoints, more kind of situations for them to get set up to defend those checkpoints with the comps that they have. But if you bring a Rapid Blaster into the mix, maybe you feel a little bit different about it.
A little bit more range for the Coalition here. What do you say?
Sure. What do you mean, what do I say? It was your turn. I passed the mic to you.
And I passed it back. I don't want to talk about the start of the game.
Okay.
It's boring.
Yeah, fine. I'll just solo this. I'm sorry. I forgot this. I didn't realize this wasn't a partner duo we were doing right here. By the way, that Rapid Blaster, I don't even know what the kit is on the vanilla one. I'm not used to seeing that. It's not the Inkjet one, is it?
The Tri-Strike.
It's the Ink Strikes. The triple strikes. Yeah, okay. That works.
Dynaman on the tower. 3 go down. It's Megu on the right side, finding the last of that wipeout. A little bit delayed, so now, not wanting to get called out there. And 1 goes down on the left side, but a good job taking bats quickly for the Coalition now, keeping up the aggression as they kind of roll through this checkpoint, but not having enough utility. And they're going to go down, but there's the checkpoint falling. They got to slow down their players coming back.
Dynaman says to Gillies, my roller is bigger than yours, as they ultimately end up in a trade right there. That is a Sniper Rider player desperately trying to stay alive. It's not going to happen. The Dynamo dancing around on the tower with a Booyah Bomb to guide the way as Daybreak is just staggered. Give up this third checkpoint. Just give it up. You're about to get KO'd right here. Get set up here defensively. There comes the Ink Strikes with the Wave Breaker on top to try to slow things down. Daybreak was just not coordinated during that one. Just going in 2 at a time, getting splatted 2 at a time. Okay, finally, let go of the checkpoint. Stay alive in this one. But in a similar situation, a more dire situation than the last game brushed, early on, a huge hole that they're going to have to overcome. 3 checkpoints down, and the Coalition now has to decide how they're going to bleed time off the clock.
I know we've been talking a lot about Daybreak having the more defensive comp. I don't think the Coalition can't play defense, though. So when you're looking at 9 ticks left for a KO for the Coalition versus no points on the board for Daybreak, it's hard to sit here and not think that a snowball of the caliber that Daybreak needs is on the horizon.
Well, the problem is, how do you start pushing up if you're Daybreak?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like somebody other than the Carbon, and it's not like you have a, well, I mean, I guess Heavy Splatling's the highest painted weapon of all time. You got some room to put there, but they need to find ways to get splats to put down paint for their Carbon to work with. But they're gonna have to, like, I don't know. I think this comp just relies a bit too much on the Carbon being able to pop off, which if they do, they'll win. But I mean, you can say that about anybody, I guess, right here. It's just, I'm struggling to find the winning condition, as the kids like to say here, for Daybreak. In the Coalition, it really just comes down to not making a mistake. Like, don't give them the window they need right here, like they are right now.
Pro v Pro 1v1 goes to the Crab. It's not quite a 1v1, though. Neon now taking advantage of the quote-unquote 1v1. They're going to move up now. Take control of Bats there, trading off for a teammate Gillies on this tower. Maybe not my favorite person to ride, but someone has to do it. Now, the rotation happens with Juice on the way. Their push is going to get stalled out, and actually a full wipeout there in favor of the Coalition. So not much more than a checkpoint to their name, but at least it's points on the board for Daybreak.
Oh, that's massive. And yeah, you don't want the Carbon. With this comp, the Carbon is the last person you want on the tower. But to get across the second checkpoint, it's all hands on deck. Like, anybody who can just get us across there, fine. Now it sets up Daybreak in a much better situation. But the Coalition is doing what you're supposed to do when you have a huge lead, which is to keep the tower on the enemy side of the map and keep going for that KO. Keep the pressure on the enemy team to do that. And when you realize there's nothing there, then slowly start the backups, then slowly start to hold control mid and get spaces. We see Neon trying to make a play along the top side by themselves with the Pro, and well, the Forge Pro trying to do something about it. Gillies making the rotation over there gets shut down as more time gets taken off of the clock here. And keep in mind, the Coalition does have the GG special of the Booyah Bomb. Actually, they got 2 Booyah Bombs they can work with as we get down to the final 30 seconds.
Some flow for pull on needed. 4 picks. I think it's 5 back-to-back, jump after jump, just feeding into them. Now SK gonna pick up where they left off, finding one. A trade goes down. Gillies finds the other one. So now defense, they have the Squid Kid advantage, but you can't go down yet, Gillies. Oh, wow, a quad of their own back the other way to hold on to that defense. But again, a 40-point deficit just about, and 1 defense is all the Coalition is going to need to take this game through.
And 1 Booyah Bomb is all the Coalition is going to need to shut this down, and they got 2 that they're trying to build up. Daybreak has to start pushing up and try to get some of those early splats before those Booyah. There's 1 Booyah Bomb option taken away. Can they take care of the Stamper that's climbing the tower, over-committing, putting a lot of pressure onto the Bats, opened up the door for the Chainsaw to come around the backside and get to the tower. Nicely done by the Coalition. No Booyah Bomb needed. And they weathered the storm there at the very end to take the lead once again in the match, 2-1.
And now a match point for the Coalition. Their win streak no longer, but building up a new one of their own as we go to Rainbow Mode on stream. Historically, we were talking about this before we went live. Historically, it's for grands, but I think that we should just use it whenever anything cool happens.
Yeah, so, we're in flow aura state right now.
We're in flow
as
aura
a tournament.
Exactly. Yeah, right. We found a new thing to talk about. Okay.
And we're
Counter pick. You think it's tower again? Oh, they can't.
We're gonna well,
They can't.
that can't. The only well, actually, daybreak can do anything but tower control. At this point, because you can't do the most recent win, and well, it's the only win that they have. And fair enough, they are going to go with Clam Blitz at the museum as their counter pick here in a must-win situation for them. Win or be forced to watch the rest of the stream with the rest of the idiots in chat. I'd rather win, personally.
Yeah, I feel similarly. So, okay, but here's my thought. Like, Daybreak's first counter pick, which they win on, is a very small, condensed, tight map, or stage, sorry, to play. You got me, Pop Gun. But now
What?
we're going... Well, I slipped a map instead of a stage. We talked about
Oh, we've butchered.
Oh, good.
We'll share that inside joke
Okay,
in a minute,
good.
but we've already butchered that. Yeah.
But Clam's Museum is kind of the ultimate large stage. It's like we went from a size 7 toddler, and now we're wearing 3XL clothing. I mean, it is sort of the polar opposite in stage from Ship Shape Cargo.
PJ's at a size 3 toddler,
Yeah.
so I'm just picturing in my head double the size of him plus some extra for what a size 7 toddler. Do they go up to 7T, or when
Yeah,
do they
when
go
I
to like
was- when I
normal
was,
human
like,
sizes?
15, I found a thrift store this leopard print coat that was a size 7 toddler. And I would like squeeze my body into it. It didn't fit. It was still too small, but got some good photos.
Thank you, Bryce.
Yeah.
Leopard print.
Leopard print. It looked like a very rich child had lived in that town.
Well, I don't know how to segue that into. I'm sorry, I'm not that good. There's a brush. Hey, brush. There's a brush over there. A quick respawn brush. Nouveau with hammer. I'm assuming that's the person who is flanking. Oh no, actually, that's got to be the stamper, just the way that the ink is being projected there. But a double flank along the left side, right off the bat for the Koalition to try to make something happen very early on against Daybreak. And it looks like that flank is going to shut down. That's how this map works. You either flank along that right side or you don't. And since it's the most obvious flank you could do in pretty much any stage ever, everyone's pretty much ready for it at this point. But when you buy enough time for a Booyah Bomb to be built up and start taking some space right there, it's a good opportunity for the Koalition to start off with a lead.
So Koalition, plenty of paint down on the stage. They're moving up here. Ball to their name, a Booyah Bomb coming out for Polon. They're going to throw that ahead. But not quite having the squid advantage they need. Players still online for Daybreak. Another Booyah Bomb goes out, but trades galore. It's just going to be one player left. So there's the opening for Megu with that Super Clam. SK able to sort of forge a path forward with that ink brush.
Are they going to get... They're going to get more out of this. The two players left alive are the long-range players for Daybreak, so they can do enough crossfire to kind of stop. Yeah, so they're not going to get more than the 71. Not the ideal push you want on the opening thing. The good news for Koalition is they still have control of the stage. They got mid, they got the pressure on Daybreak. It's up to Daybreak to kind of break out of this. And they're again more trades going back and forth. Who's flanking all the way around back there? What was that all
that's
about?
that ink brush. Just playing so hyper aggressive. We saw them on the sploosh earlier today, not actually playing so aggressive there, but it seems like with the ink brush their mind has changed. Maybe it's all that quick respawn.
Well, might as well. Why have all the quick respawn if you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you need to respond quickly? Otherwise, you're just throwing, obviously. But opening lead does go to the Koalition. It is not the lead that they want at this point, but yet again, things still kind of neutral right here as we just cross the 2-minute mark into this one, as Daybreak's starting to get control of mid. The pencil's in the right kind of spot. One splat going down from Daybreak. Something's trying to open up here. They don't really have any clams, though.
They also,
That's a problem.
despite being in control of mid, paint is hard. Like the left side from our point of view there is still mostly yellow, and that's sort of where they were moving through to get to mid, or to the opponent's platform. So just struggling to keep paint down. Max Mix not doing what Kyo thought the Splatling was meant to do.
Well, yeah, this Splatling is moving too much for the one that was in Kyo's kind of lobby right there, but so be it. Able to just kind of hold on to some space a bit, as I'm trying to find an opening for something to happen for anybody right here. Specials aren't really going to find a way to get deployed. Clams are being built up by Daybreak. But as soon as we say that, the Dynamo snipes somebody else, and this shuts down an opportunity for them to start pushing up the ramp side. So it's not easy sledding for either team at this point, as nobody's really established control or had a good opportunity to get a push even started in the past minute and a half.
Dynaman just sort of playing this paint game, not allowing anyone to tiptoe underneath the plat, then up to mid to do the same, but somehow Daybreak able to find a way through. There's 2 players to their name, 3v2 now on the field, and Megu forced to back all the way up with that Stamper. So just 1 player, just Dynaman, playing that defensive, and the spinner not going the direction they want it, and look how much purple's going down. No, SK on the flank, though. I think that might be enough to shut down a push for a minute.
I mean, when you take the top off the defense like that, yeah, that pretty much ends it right there. And your power clams jumping out. So back to square one is Daybreak. The question is, can the Coalition capitalize off of this opportunity that was presented to them by their brush player and put some more points up on the board? I mean, this is not a... yeah, you're going to win at this point because Daybreak's having a lot of opportunity getting out of their own base, but I don't want to get down to a scenario where all they got to do is pop the basket and throw in a handful of clams and the lead is gone. But Daybreak's going to have an opportunity to do that in the closing minutes here.
Done it once before on tower. Now is their chance to relive those dreams on clams. 2 picks down in their favor. Dynaman finds one on Gillies to make up some of that difference now. Just looking for a way in as 10 seconds remain. A clam, a super clam, and a couple clams is all they need. And now Min-Max coming in, looking for something. You're right about the ink brush. There's the flank, and so not quite finding anything as players start to go down. Neon stuck in a 1v1 will go down as well. I think that's it, Top Gun. I don't know.
Well, like we said in game 1, if you're going to flank, just keep doing it over and over and over again. Eventually, it's going to work out. It worked out that the last time for the Coalition with SK just completely shutting down and a potential push from Daybreak. And I'm kind of surprised when they didn't see the brush for like 10 seconds where nobody thought, hey, wait a minute. Would they be coming from that same spot? Oh, yeah, they did. Oh, they just got a double. Oh, the game's over. That's just rough to keep focus in a situation like this where it's like, oh my gosh, we lose this, our tournament run is over, we've been doing so well all day, to just think about, oh wait, where's that, oh, you lose sight of the flank just once. And they've been doing a decent job of shutting it down, especially in the beginning. But yeah, you just lose sight of it once and then tournament runs over. That's tough.